There are lots of ways to improve your English. The key is to find out the way that works the best for you. In today's video, let's talk about 8 secrets that you can use to improve your English communication. If you can master some or all of these secrets, I'm sure that you'll find out that you can improve your English much faster. Are you ready to find out these secrets? If so, then let's get into it. The first thing that you need to consider is, why do you want to learn English? When I first got to Japan, my goal was to be able to speak and do everyday things in Japanese. There were no other English speakers around me when I first got here, so my goal was just to be able to do everything on my own without always having to ask for help. So the first thing that you need to do is decide your why. Do you need to pass a test? Do you need English for work? Or are you just going to be traveling abroad? Whatever the reason, this will give you something to work towards. Once you know why you're learning English, it's also going to help you know how you need to go about studying. Then you can start to use English to accomplish your goals. You will also have more fun learning if you have a clear reason why. I once had a student who was very interested in learning about the differences between US and Japanese culture, but when it came to just learning English grammar or things of that nature, he would completely check out. So find your why and then work towards that. Don't read first. There is a time and place for reading, of course, but first, how about let's focus on listening to audio or watching a video. This way you can start off by learning how to pronounce the words that you're learning. When you start off by reading first, you might understand that topic, or there might be words that are specific to that topic, but you just might not know how to pronounce them first. And that's why we're going to focus in on listening to begin with. Focusing on English pronunciation first is going to be a great way to improve your English, and it's also going to be the way that you're going to speak to real people. You can go back later and read, but let's try to focus on talking and listening to other people talking. And that's why I recommend listening to audio or watching a video first before you get into reading. Combine this step with reading and you're going to be well on your way to speaking better English. Next, don't translate word for word. Sometimes I have students ask me about something that I was saying, or they ask me about the meaning of something that they heard or saw on TV. They want to know the meaning word for word, but everything doesn't always translate directly. I recommend that you try to pick out the words that you do know first. If there are words that you don't know, you can translate those, but it's also good to know what's being said in context. This way, you're going to start to understand more about what's actually being said. You won't lose interest in learning, and you also won't get caught up on small grammar points that are not necessarily important to know what's being said. Next, forget about writing. If you are learning English to live abroad or you're interested in meeting people, don't worry about writing first. Now, of course, if you're planning on doing something for a test, or if you're going to need to write things in English for school or for work, then that's when we can go back to this step. But for now, let's focus on actually speaking and listening to speakers. You can always go back and get better at writing later. For example, in Japan for me, most of my day-to-day interactions are involved with actually speaking to other people. So start with what you're going to need the most first, and then you can go back and learn other things such as writing as you need them. Next, how about taking an online course? So how about ask yourself what you're interested in learning outside of English, and then you can go back and find out how you can learn that thing in English. This way you're going to stay focused, because you'll have to learn English well enough to be able to do that thing in English. And it doesn't have to just be an online course. It could be a hobby, for example. The important thing here is to use English to do something else. For people that have seen any of my videos before, you've probably heard me speak about I like basketball. And so for me, playing basketball and using Japanese to communicate was one of the first ways that I started getting better at Japanese, because we both had that common goal of being able to compete well in basketball, and we both needed Japanese to do it. So take an online course or pick up a hobby that uses English so that you can improve your English faster. Forget about perfect grammar. Unless you're going to do something with writing as the main focus, you're not going to necessarily need perfect grammar. As long as you know basic sentence structure, you'll be okay. If the person that you're speaking to can understand you and you can understand them, at the beginning, that's the most important thing for a conversation. You can get better by making mistakes and then fixing your grammar as you get more comfortable. You don't want small mistakes or not being perfect to keep you from ever trying to speak at all. It is always okay to just keep it simple and use the English that you know to have a conversation. The next thing you need to think about is listening to everything. So get in the habit of listening to a lot of different types of English. Everyone that you come across speaks differently, so you should also get into the habit of listening to different types of English media. So think about listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. The more English that you can get comfortable with, the better it's going to be for you. Next, practice English every day, and this is going to be your key to success. Maybe it's only 5, 10, or 15 minutes a day, but the most important thing is to do something every day as much as possible in English. Go over some new words that you learned, try speaking to someone in English, listen to some YouTube videos, or just go over a few pages of an audiobook. Whatever you do, just make sure that you find a little time each day to go over something in English, and this is going to be one of the main keys to helping you improve your English conversation skills. Okay guys, I hope this video helps you improve your English communication skills. If you got some good benefit out of it, how about sharing this video with someone else that you think it will help? Also, if you are interested in learning how reading can help you improve your English skills, then check out this video that's popping up on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you.